Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. So here I am, folks. About to get it on with this rear end. Man, I was having issues yesterday and I started to push through, put this C70 rear end in this 850 because I felt energetic last night. I wasn't that tired. Woke up first thing this morning and thought, if I push these wheels out an inch on both sides, I'm going to be rubbing. Because when I got Panther loaded down to the ground and towing something, I can't hardly get my fingers up in there. I'm shocked that the wheels are not rubbing already. I pushed that out an inch, I'm going to be done. So, I am backing off of this C70 rear end. I'm going to put that S70 rear end in because it's the same as the 850. And maybe I'll put this on another vehicle. I am so glad I didn't push this in last night. Thank God. This wider C70 rear end probably will be fine for a car that doesn't get overloaded or is not lowered. But I don't think it'll be good for Panther. So I'm backing off of that. Let me dig that other one out. Get it prepped. Get this one ready to come out and keep this moving. I'm gonna have to put the tent up. It's already getting hot out here. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to get this easy up, shade me, shelter little thing. I call it a picnic table tent. I'm gonna do it up by myself. It's possible to do it. It's better done with two. However, it can be set up and taken down with one person. First thing you may want to do is take out your stakes, get that zipped out of the pocket. Next thing I do is flip it over and unzip it and take out the material. I normally load the frame in first and then put the material in. That's why it's kind of pooched out right there like a stomach, like an old man's stomach. Let me pull that out. Got it flipped over. Easy to unzip. Pull the cover out. That's the whole cover right there. Now I let the bag fall down a little bit and I just lift this up and out of it, and if I got to, I'll step on that so that I can get the framework lifted all the way out. And then I flip it over because this is the bottom of it here. If you're doing it by yourself like I am, you want to set it close to where you want to have it set up. And of course, if you put it in the middle of where you want it set up, that'd be even better. So I take it and I walk it out on the ends. And, you know, just take your time. Don't stress it out too hard because you can break some of these aluminum little bars and that'll be bad. Once you get it out about this far, I climb under it and I push up the middle of it and that expands it out. And then once it's expanded out, I lock in the corners. I'm standing in it, it's spread out. So now I come over here and I lift up each corner until it locks in. That one locked in. These pins will lock into that hole when you get it up high enough. That one locks in. I put my foot down on the bottom of it to hold it down, so when I lift it up, it locks in. Alright, all four are locked in. Then you lift this up, make sure that's up, and it's ready to put the canopy on it. Now I take the canopy over it and swing it over there like I would, like I'm making a bed. And in the corners of the canopy, you'll have the Velcro that you Velcro on, and then you'll have some that you Velcro in the middle. Let me show you that. I find the corner, I put it on there, Velcro grabs it, then I get under it and I walk the opposite corner down there, and then I Velcro the other corners in there, and then I Velcro the support under the middles. Got that corner on, got that corner on. Now I pull this corner out, slide it down over there, and the Velcro will grab. Then I come over here, pull this corner out, and the Velcro will grab. Now you have the whole tent over the frame, nice and easy. Now you come down under it and you Velcro these little straps in the middles here. Do all four of those. Now that I have all four of those, I want to make sure I have the corners pulled down properly. You can reset those Velcros if you need to. And then I just raise the feet up one corner at a time, lift it up a little bit, start sliding it down, and I lift it up till it locks one side at a time. You'll hear it lock. It just locked in. Now I'm gonna get the one next to it, then I'm gonna get the other two. Take your time, you won't do no damage to it. Once you have it up, it's not where you want it, just scoot it a little bit at a time over where you want it. So I'm gonna take it over the back of the car. So I'm gonna move those two legs up about 6 inches to a foot, then move those two over, then move these two over. Just don't grab it and try to pull it the whole way. Looking on this 850, and it seems to be the same on the 97 850. Is that 96 or 97?
97.
It has one brake line coming up here, not two, and it splits off here. So I don't need both of those brake lines, but I need to get that loose at any rate. So let me lower this bracket, try to get that brake line loose, and then bust this suspension loose. Tried a few times to get that brake line loose, even heating it up some, couldn't get it loose. So I am not going to break that trying to get it loose. Come over here, disconnected these two lines, and I'm going to disconnect that bracket. Leave that little T there with the hose on it, and I'll swap that over to the new rear end. I got that loose. Again, if you are not having ABS issues or caliper issues, I would unhook all of this stuff from the suspension and leave it tied up to the car, and then just take the suspension out, leave all that. But since I'm having ABS sensor issues, I'm taking this with me. But shoot, I could have left that brake line stuff here and kept my calipers and brakes line stuff hooked up. I should probably hook that back up and do that, huh? Leave my brake stuff here tied up.
Okay.
Since I could not get that brake line loose, I'm going to leave the brake system attached to the car. So don't unhook those hoses or lines. Just unclip them from the clips going across. Take your calipers off of the suspension and tie them up to the car somehow. You could tie it up to the exhaust and then unclip it going across. And there's a brake line over there that is attached to this rear end somehow. This one on the left. Let me figure out how to get that off of there. Since I'm leaving this line here, actually here's the other line here, the other hose, brake hose. I took the bracket out of the front of the, I'll call them trailing arm there. I'm going to take the caliper off, tie it to this exhaust. You got a screw here, and I had a screw here. These are T25s. So I took them out and Now I gotta unclip them from here and tie up this brake caliper to something. I unclipped the brake lines from all the way across, so I got that hanging. I got the caliper hanging over here on this tailpipe. I got the other caliper hanging on the fuel filler pipe, and all the bolts are out. So we're getting ready to jack up this little spot right here where the spring sets, get that level, and then just pry that off of there or tap it off with a hammer. We got it jacked up. The arm seems pretty level there. Now I'm gonna put my pry bar on there and push it off. I just pried it off nice and easy, and with the jack under there it held it. Go ahead and let the jack down, and we'll go to the other side. Put something to support the other side up so it's not hanging down too far. Then come over here and jack this side up level, and then pry it off. Came over here, really can't get this side loose, and that is because the inner pin of this bushing is rusted to the post. Let me get the light on here. Now I've sprayed up there with some PB Blaster. I've beat on this with a hammer. However, the bushing in between this outer part of the bushing and this inner ring is absorbing my impacts. So I cut some of this bushing away. I'm gonna eat some more of it away, and I'm gonna beat on this inner ring to try to get it to break loose from the post, kind of like a ball joint breaks loose from the knuckle. So let me work on that and see if I can find my 2-pound sledge. Back on Andrew's white 850. Man, look at here. Got them propulsors on it. We're checking cam seals for leaks. Going to flush the coolant. Going to do a lower radiator hose. ABS module so he could be check engine light free. And see what else we can get into on this real quick. So far, we checked this intake cam seal, and it really didn't have a leak. It had a little residue, but not leaking. So we're going to check this exhaust cam seal, which has a lot of crud on it, probably leaking here behind the exhaust cam. And then we're going to get the ABS module. And for some reason, his BCS mount is crumbled. And he's got some extra wire in here, probably for a tow hitch and who knows what else. So let's keep rolling because it is hot out here. Even though that seal is leaking, it is in there pretty good. So I tapped the pilot hole in it, got a screw in it. Now I'm about to pull it out with my needle nose pliers. Got the cam seal replaced. Now we're replacing the coolant and the lower radiator hose. Easiest way to get to this radiator hose is to pull this intercooler pipe. See how jacked up that hose was on the end? Soft, gooey. Got to get that before it springs a leak. Got the coolant hose replaced. Everything hooked back up. Fired it up. We got a flush thermostat in here. Suck the water right down. So I'm going to go ahead and fill the water up. It is now after 7 p.m. 7:11. Came out here 10:30 thinking 30 minutes I'd have this rear end off of here, and that has not happened. We knocked that driver's side off really easy. Jacked it up level, boom, boom, 2 bangs, it popped off. This passenger side is rusted on there. Now I'm trying to hit that thing with Thor. Got this sledgehammer here, homemade sledgehammer. This thing is banging, and this thing's just rusted on there. So I installed the other side, put the bolt in there about halfway, just to try to level this out and take any tension off of it. I got the jack under here. This thing should be as level as possible, so I'm gonna beat on this thing for a little while longer. You can see the damage I'm doing to this link, the bushing. I broke metal off up under there. It just won't come loose from the post. and I've pried on it, beat down on it, knocked dents in the car, knocking, what's this stuff called, undercoating off the car. I just can't get it. So let me work on this. If I can't get this thing loose in another 15-20 minutes, I'm going to go find a torch or go buy a torch. I got 2 of them in the garage in there in storage. I can't find them, so I need to keep this thing moving. I was hoping I'd be done with this by 2 and be on the road by 3 or 4. Here it is, 7 o'clock. I'm not going nowhere today. Maybe tomorrow, if I get this thing loose and get this other one installed. So I had a thought. What if I can get all of the bushing material out of there, the rubber, get that to come off, and then put pipe wrench on this metal sleeve and try to twist that off that way? Well, that might work. It may also work if I take the suspension, hang it down, and just twist it back to twist it off. Get everything out of the way and start twisting it. That may twist this thing loose, break it loose, and hopefully get it off. Hopefully it won't break the post. Man, it's a shame how clean the other side is and how messed up this side is. But I just grabbed some needle nose pliers and pulled a bunch of rubber bushing out of here, and all that mess is down there, all the PB blaster and stuff. But that thing is really rusted up in there pretty bad. Let me show you what the other one looks like clean. That's the bolt out of the driver's side. This is the bushing from the driver's side. That's the post from the driver's side, and that's the post on the car from the driver's side. Now on the other side, I've got all of this stuff torn off of here, and all of this broke off trying to get this down. So this is stuck up on that. So let me go ahead and make sure everything is unhooked from here, lower this to the ground and twist it and see if it falls away. So let me get everything from under here and do my twist trick. Man, this really looks messy. Look at that. I don't know if that's a ball socket or not, but I'm gonna try to twist that thing back. The brake lines are loose, the ABS lines are not. The ABS wiring, but that thing is nasty. Heckin', looks like I can almost stand on it and get the bushing to come out. Then I might have to get that metal post off of it. I tried to get this ABS wiring out and I couldn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one because it's stressing the system. It looks like it's also pulling on my brake line, this other one over here. Don't want that happening. Pulling on my brake line. Get that unsnapped from there. Alright, my brake lines are loose from that stuff. Let me cut this wire. I got this suspension twisted all the way back here. Oops. Don't want to get my brake lines messed up, nor my shock. So I'm going to walk my shock back over there. Now that this is like this, I'm going to beat on this with Thor. Try to get that thing to pop down, but man, that even looks bad right there. Not sure if I filmed this yet, but I got it all twisted around. And this thing is just, the rubber is just tore up around here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put this in here because it just barely fits when I push down on it. Then I'm going to jack this up here, see if it can push that off of there. Man, this is wrenching. This has some tension on it, but it still didn't pop loose. I don't know if lifting that up will help. Maybe I'm going to lift it up a little bit, see if that'll wiggle that off of there. Unfortunately, I'm done for the day. Didn't get that thing loose. I'm going to start in the morning with fire. So I'm going to find a torch, start to burn that thing until it comes off of there, and then go from there. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.